for sure. But they loaded up, showed Kawhi a crowd, but it didn't come down. It came down to just turning the basketball over again. 16 turnovers in the second half. Same shit over and over, man. Just same stuff.
That was going to be my next point. I think at one point they outscored you 15-0 off turnovers in the third quarter alone. They finished with 37 points off turnovers. You guys obviously know what to do. The players do. So what's the kind of the solution with these turnovers?
No, just can't have careless turnovers. Got to take care of the basketball. And we talked about it. It's the only way teams can beat us. If we turn the basketball over, don't get shots on goal, it's going to be a hard night for us, And so having 16 turnovers in the second half is just way too many to try to beat a good team, So we got to do a better job taking care of the basketball. Just run through the finish line. And so, again, tonight, I didn't think we did that. Thought we got to a poor start to start the third quarter and kind of gave them life and confidence. Then it was just a back-and-forth game from there.
Ty, how do you kind of get them back on their feet for tomorrow after something like this?
Got to be ready to go. This game's over, and now we got to on to the next tomorrow. So can't hang our heads about it. We got to learn from it, for sure. Like, you just can't continue to turn the basketball over and give teams layups and threes and dunks. All we got to do is take care of the ball.
Does the defense concern you at all 6 games in?
We got to get better for sure. But I got to look at it, like, did the offense, trigger the defense? Like turn the ball over 21 times, giving 35 points, off turnovers. A lot of that has to do with the offense taking care of the basketball. And so we just got to be better with that. But I'll look at it. Like you said, it's not concerning. It's early. And we got to continue to keep getting better. We got to keep, growing and understand what we're trying to do defensively. But they attacked us. They were tough, defensively, and they had the mentality, we're going to get to the basket every single time or make a play for someone else. And so it made it tough.
Coach, can you talk about Chris Dunn's performance in the third quarter when the game was close, but he was coming up with a lot of defensive stops and things like that?
Yeah, KD's energy every single night, is great for us. What he does defensively, initiating offense when James is getting pressured, which is really good for us as well. And like I say, KD is, he's been great for us ever since he's been here.
Coach, less than 24 hours, you guys face off against OKC. What type of challenges do you think they present? And what things can you guys learn from tonight's loss that you can carry over to tomorrow?
Well, if we turn the ball over like we did tonight, it won't be close. I can tell you that. So they strive and thrive off turning teams over and getting out in transition. And so we got to do a better job of just taking care of the basketball. We know they're going to strip, they're going to grab, they're going to hold. But we got to be stronger with the basketball. And so tomorrow night won't be any different.
Coach, in the first half, the pace seemed rather fast. You guys scored 71. Offensively and defensively, you guys look great. In the second half, they seemed a bit sluggish, a little slower. Was that intention to slow the game down, or were they just a little winded?
Probably a little winded. I'm not sure. The way they play, the way they attack, there's no resting on the floor because they're constantly moving. They're constantly putting you in closeout situations, constantly making you get back on defense. And so, guys could have got worn down, but, we still got to do a better job taking care of the basketball.
Ty, apologies if you were asked this already, but what were you hoping to see on that final play? Obviously, Kawhi one game removed from a game winner, and he had just hit a tough shot.
Not, calling a timeout, giving Spo a chance to kind of put in his defense where they want to fire or not, just try to catch him on the fly, which we did. But they loaded up, pretty good. So Kawhi didn't get the look he wanted to get.
Ty, how much of just the turnovers, careless or not, are part of guys learning each other, and how much of it is just guys, I don't know.
We got to be better.
Could some of that be attributed to maybe not wanting to be selfish, a lack of aggression, trying to get guys involved?
I don't know, but we got to be better.
What'd you make of Brad today? He seemed like he had one of his better games so far early in the season.
Yeah, he had good pop. I think having practice yesterday and being able to be on the floor and just kind of getting reps and understand what we're trying to do. And, he's coming along, and so continue to keep stacking days and games and having him on the floor is going to be important for us.
I know it's right after the game, but are Kawhi and Brad, are they participants tomorrow?
I'm not sure yet.
Not sure. For